Here's the complete retelling of the story, The Richest Man in Babylon, : In the ancient city of Babylon, where the grand hanging gardens stood tall and the streets bustled with life, there lived a man named Arcad. He was known far and wide as the richest man in Babylon, and his wealth and prosperity were subjects of admiration and intrigue among the citizens. One day, a group of friends gathered in the market square, engrossed in a lively conversation about Arcad's wealth. They were curious and eager to uncover the secret behind his success. Just as they were sharing their thoughts, a man of stature approached them. His name was Arcad himself, and he had heard whispers of their curiosity. With a friendly smile, Arcad offered to share his story and the wisdom that had led him from humble beginnings to his present opulence. Eager to learn, his friends gathered around, ready to soak in his tale. Arcad began his story by revealing that he had not always been the wealthy man they knew him to be. In fact, he had started his journey as a poor scribe, struggling to make ends meet. Life was a relentless cycle of toil and hardship, and Arcad knew that something needed to change. It was during this time of contemplation that Arcad sought the counsel of a wise and wealthy moneylender named Algamish. Seeing the sincerity in Arcad's eyes, Algamish agreed to share his knowledge, but only if Arcad agreed to follow a set of principles that had proven to be the foundation of wealth for many. Arcad eagerly agreed, and Algamish began to lay out his plan. The first principle was simple but powerful: start thy purse to fattening. Algamish explained that Arcad must save at least 10% of his earnings before doing anything else. This practice, he assured, would help Arcad gain control over his finances and create a safety net for the future. Following this principle, Arcad started saving diligently. He put away a portion of his earnings, no matter how small, and watched as his purse fattened over time. With a growing sense of control over his money, he moved on to the next principle. Control thy expenditures, Algamish said, the second principle rolling off his tongue. He advised Arcad to be mindful of his spending, to live within his means, and to distinguish between wants and needs. By practicing frugality and directing his resources toward necessities, Arcad would have more to save and invest. As Arcad continued to save and control his expenditures, Algamish introduced him to the third principle: make thy gold multiply. This principle was at the heart of wealth building. Arcad learned the art of investing, of putting his money to work in ventures that promised good returns. He diversified his investments, choosing businesses and opportunities wisely, and watched as his wealth multiplied. As years passed, Arcad's financial situation transformed drastically. He had accumulated significant wealth, and people began to notice. Curiosity turned into admiration, and Arcad became a beacon of success in Babylon. Yet, his journey was far from over. Algamish imparted more wisdom to Arcad, revealing the remaining principles that had contributed to his fortune. Guard thy treasures from loss, was the fourth principle, reminding Arcad to protect his investments and not to fall prey to risky schemes. Make of thy dwelling a profitable investment, was the fifth principle. Arcad learned the value of owning property and turning it into a source of income. By renting out part of his house, he earned additional income that contributed to his growing wealth. The sixth principle, ensure a future income, emphasized the importance of planning for retirement and old age. Arcad set aside a portion of his earnings to ensure that he would have a steady income even when he could no longer work as actively. Finally, the seventh principle, increase thy ability to earn, encouraged Arcad to continually improve his skills and knowledge. He understood that his earning potential was linked to his abilities, and he invested time and effort into becoming more proficient in his trade. With these principles guiding him, Arcad's friends observed the remarkable transformation that had taken place in his life. Inspired and eager to follow in his footsteps, they too began to implement these principles in their own lives. Over time, they experienced improvements in their financial situations, just as Arcad had promised. And so, the story of the richest man in Babylon became a timeless parable of financial wisdom. Through Arcad's journey, generations would learn the importance of saving, investing, controlling expenditures, protecting wealth, and continually seeking self-improvement. As the tale echoed through the ages, it served as a reminder that the principles of sound money management were as relevant in ancient Babylon as they are today. Certainly, here are the key points from the story The Richest Man in Babylon: 1. Arkad's humble beginnings. Arkad, once a poor scribe, sought to change his financial situation and approached the wealthy moneylender Algamish for advice. 2. The 7 Principles of Wealth Building. Start thy purse to fattening. Arkad began saving at least 10% of his income, establishing a foundation for wealth. Control thy expenditures. He practiced frugality, distinguishing between wants and needs, and living within his means. Make thy gold multiply. Arkad learned to invest wisely, putting his money to work in ventures that promised good returns. Guard thy treasures from loss. He protected his investments, avoiding risky and unwise financial decisions. Make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. Arkad rented out part of his house to generate additional income. Ensure a future income. He planned for the future by setting aside a portion of his earnings for retirement. Increase thy ability to earn. Arkad continually improved his skills and knowledge to enhance his earning potential. 3. Transformation and success. Following these principles, Arkad's wealth grew steadily, and he became the richest man in Babylon. 4. Sharing wisdom. Arkad shared his story and the 7 principles with his friends, who were inspired to follow his advice. 5. Implementation and prosperity. Arkad's friends adopted the principles in their lives, leading to positive changes in their financial situations. 6. Timeless wisdom. The story illustrates the timeless nature of sound financial practices, teaching the importance of saving, investing, living within one's means, protecting wealth, and seeking self-improvement. 7. Legacy. The story's teachings continue to resonate across generations, emphasizing that financial wisdom is relevant in both ancient times and the modern world.